We were living in a house just outside the bustling metropolis of New Vineyard, Maine. It was a large structure, especially for a family of 3. The day after my 5th birthday, I came down with a fever. The doctor said I had mononucleosis, which meant no rough play and more fever for at least another 3 weeks. My mother brought me ginger ale and books several times a day. Boredom always loomed just around the corner. I don't exactly recall how I met Mr. Widemouth. My first memory of the small creature was asking him if he had a name. He told me to call him
Mr. Widemouth.
You look kind of like a Furby.
Furby? What's a Furby?
You know, the toy, the little robot with the big ears. You can pet and feed them, almost like a real pet.
Oh, you don't need one of those. They aren't the same as having a real friend.
I remember Mr. Widemouth disappearing every time my mother stopped by to check in on me.
I lay under your bed. I don't want your parents to see me because I'm afraid they won't let us play anymore.
We didn't do much during those first few days. Mr. Widemouth just looked at my books, fascinated by the stories and pictures they contained. 3rd or 4th morning after I met him, he greeted me with a large smile on his face.
I have a new game we can play. We have to wait until after your mother comes to check on you, because she can't see us play it. It's a secret game.
After my mother delivered more books and soda at the usual time, Mr. Widemouth slipped out from under the bed.
We have to go to the room at the end of this hallway.
I really don't think that I should. I'm pretty sick, actually.
I have something super funny to tell you down here. Come here.
The room in question had no furniture or wallpaper. Its only distinguishing feature was a window opposite the doorway. Mr. Widemouth darted across the room and gave the window a firm push, flinging it open. He then beckoned me to look out at the ground below. We were on the 2nd story of the house, but it was on a hill, and from this angle the drop was farther than 2 stories due to the incline.
I like to play pretend up here. I pretend that there's a big soft trampoline below this window, and I jump. If you pretend hard enough, you bounce back up like a feather. I want you to try.
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think it's a good idea.
No, you should totally just jump out this window and kill yourself.
I was a 5-year-old with a fever, so only a hint of skepticism darted through my thoughts as I looked down and considered the possibility.
It's a long drop.
Well, that's all part of the fun. It wouldn't be fun if it was just only a short drop. If it were that way, you may as well just bounce on a real trampoline.
I toyed with the idea of picturing myself falling through thin air only to bounce back to the window on something unseen by human eyes. But the realist in me prevailed.
Maybe some other time. I don't know if I have enough imagination. I could get hurt.
Oh, if you say so.
He spent the rest of the day under my bed, quiet as a mouse. The following morning, Mr. Widemouth arrived holding a small box.
I want to teach you how to juggle. Here are some things you could use to practice before I start giving you lessons.
I looked in the box. It was full of knives.
I'll be spanked and grounded for a year.
It's fun to juggle with these. I want you to try it.
I can't. I'll get in trouble. I mean, knives aren't safe to just throw in the air.
He took the box of knives and slid under my bed, remaining there the rest of the day. I began to wonder how often he was under me. I started having trouble sleeping after that. Mr. Widemouth often woke me up at night, saying he put a real trampoline under the window, a big one that I couldn't see in the dark. I always declined and tried to go back to sleep, but Mr. Widemouth persisted. He wasn't so fun to play with anymore. My mother came to me one morning, told me I had her permission to walk around outside. She thought the fresh air would be good for me, especially after being confined to my room for so long. Ecstatic, I put on my sneakers and trotted out to the back porch. Mr. Widemouth was waiting for me.
I have something I want you to see. It's safe, I promise. Right.
I followed him to the beginning of a deer trail which ran through the woods beyond the house.
This is an important path. I've had a lot of friends about your age. When they were ready, I took them down to this path, to a special place. You aren't ready yet, but one day, I hope to take you there.
I returned to the playhouse, wondering what kind of place lay beyond that trail. 2 weeks after I met Mr. Widemouth, the last load of our things had been packed into a moving truck. I would be in the cab of that truck, sitting next to my father for the long drive to Pennsylvania. I considered telling Mr. Widemouth that I would be leaving, but even at 5 years old, I was beginning to suspect that perhaps the creature's intentions were not to my benefit. For this reason, I decided to keep my departure a secret. My father and I were in the truck at 4 a.m. He was hoping to make it to Pennsylvania by lunchtime tomorrow with the help of an endless supply of coffee and 6-pack of energy drinks.
Early enough for you? This is the last move, son. I promise. I know it's hard for you, as sick as you've been. But once Daddy gets promoted, we can settle down and you can make some friends.
I opened my eyes as we backed out of the driveway. Saw Mr. Widemouth's silhouette. Gave a pitiful little wave goodbye, steak knife in hand. I didn't wave back. Years later, I returned to New Vineyard. The piece of land our house stood upon was empty except for the foundation, as the house burned down a few years after my family left. Out of curiosity, I followed the deer trail that Mr. Widemouth had shown me. Part of me expected him to jump out from behind a tree and scare the living bejesus out of me, but I felt that Mr. Widemouth was gone, somehow tied to the house that no longer existed. The trail ended at the New Vineyard Memorial Cemetery. I noticed that many of the tombstones belonged to children.